Okay, so what is a set? Any well-defined collection of objects. Okay, not only numbers, not only alphabets, it can be anything. Any well-defined collection of objects is called a set. The point here is that the set has to have a definition. Okay, any set must have a definition. For example, the set of students of class 8. So what is the definition here? The definition of the set is the set of students. Okay, the students form a set. Okay, now what kind of set? The students of class 8. Okay, you can have another example here as you have seen. The set of odd integers. This forms a set. Okay, say what is the definition here? Odd integers. This is the definition. Okay, and another example can be the set of even integers less than 10. So what is the definition of this set here? How are the objects related? Even integers less than 10. This is how the objects are related. This is the definition. Okay. Next is, say, the set of boys in class 10. So what is the definition here? Boys in class 10. Okay. And what is inside the set? Inside the set is all the boys of class 10, right? Now, normally sets are denoted by capital letters, say A, B, C, D, X, and Y. These are used to denote the set. Okay, and the elements of the set are denoted normally by small letters, or it can be anything. Normally, it is denoted by small letters. For example, I can write A is equal to the set A, and I put this curly bracket. Within this curly bracket will be the elements of the set. What are the elements of the set? For example, I can say A, B, and C. These are the elements of the set. This A, B, and C are called elements of the set A. Okay. Another set I can define as, say, B is equal to okay, this is a student of class 8. Okay, these two are students of class 8. This set has two students. Okay, this element Taha and Asmita, these are called the elements of the set. Okay, the students are the elements of this set. Okay, so sets are normally denoted by capital letters, and the elements of the set are denoted by either small letters like these, or you can have any other elements in this. Okay, and we say if an element is within the set, then we say that that element belongs to that set. For example, in this we say A is an element, so we say A belongs to. You give this symbol, this means belongs to. Okay, A belongs to the set A. We also write, since B is also in the set, we write B belongs to the set A. And we can also write C belongs to the set A. But is D an element of the set? D is not an element of the set. So therefore we write D does not belong to the set A. Okay. Similarly, we can say this student Taha belongs to the set D, the set of students. Belongs to the set B. Okay. So that is how we denote the sets, and that is how the elements of the set are denoted. Now we come to the next part, which is called the methods of representation of set. How do you represent sets? Okay. There are two methods of representation of sets. One is called the tabular or the roster form, and the other is called the set builder form. Okay. Now in tabular form, what we do is we actually list the elements of the set. For example, here, if you see, I have listed the elements A, B, and C. I have written all the elements of the set one by one inside the set. So this is called the tabular or the roster representation of the set. Okay. So A is equal to A, B, C. This is called the tabular or roster form of representation of the set A. Okay. And there is another form of representation. Instead of actually writing the elements of the set, what you can do is you can write this as, you can, the same set if you want to write, you can simply write it as X. That is, X is a variable. X can take any value, A, B, or C. And then you give a colon sign. Colon sign is also read as such that. This is read as such that. Okay. Sometimes instead of these two colons, in certain books, you will find a vertical line also. Okay. Let me write it in this way first, colon form, and then I'll write it as a vertical line. X such that X is, or X represents the first three letters of the English alphabet. Okay. So either we represent the set A in this form, or you can also represent the set A in this form. So if X is represent the first three letters of English alphabet, then X can take the value A, or X can also take the value B, or X can also take the value C. This is called the set builder form of representation of the set A. Okay. Next, another example. Let us say if I take A as a set, if I'm defining 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. What you see is that this set represents what? The even numbers, right? The even integers, even positive integers, right? From 2 to 10, right? This is a tabular form of representation because we are writing each element in the set. Okay. Now, if I want to write this in the set builder form, what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to write X and I'm going to give a vertical line, or you can give a colon also. X such that X is an even positive integer, or simply an even integer between 1 and 10 or 1 and 11. Okay, you can write it this way, or a more technical form of representation. If you can learn this, it is very useful. X such that you can write this as 1 less than or equal to X less than or equal to 10. Now, what does this mean? 1 less than or equal to X less than or equal to 10. See that I have written the lower number here and I've written the higher number here. This means that X lies between 1 and 10.
So, Sir, but the X is it represents the numbers between 1 to 10. So how come X can lie between?
I have not finished yet. Okay. Inclusive of 1 and 10. Okay, inclusive of 1 and 10 because I've given an equal to sign here. See that there's an equal to sign here. Okay. So X can be equal to 1. X can also be equal to 10. Now this definition is not complete. Why is it not complete? Because I have said X such that X lies between 1 and 10, inclusive of 1 and 10. But X is only even integers, right? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to write X is equal to 2n, where n is a natural number. Okay. So now you will get the values 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. You put n is equal to 1, you will get 2. You put n is equal to 2, you will get 4. You put n is equal to 3, you get 6, and so on. Okay. And what is the restriction? That n can only lie, X can only lie between 1 and 10. So therefore, now the definition of this set is complete. Okay. So either you represent it in tabular form or you represent it in set builder form, any set. Now we'll be going through more examples in order to learn how to write set builder. Normally set builder forms are used to represent infinite sets where you actually cannot list down a lot of elements. Suppose a set has 10,000 elements. Is it actually possible to write down the 10,000 elements? No, they are not possible to write down the 10,000 elements. So what you do is you write it in set builder form, which is a more convenient form. Whenever large sets are involved or infinite sets are involved, we write the set in set builder form. Okay. Let us see some examples here of set builder form. First one here, here I've given the definition. A is equal to set of odd integers less than 10. Okay. Set of odd integers less than, or you can also write this as X such that X is an odd integer less than 10. Okay. This is what we call both set builder form. Okay. This is called the set builder form of representation of the set. Either you can write it this way, or this is a better way of writing X such that X is an odd integer less than 10. Now the same set, if you want to write it in tabular form, because it is not a very big set, what are the odd integers less than 10? 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. This is the same set A we are representing in tabular form. Okay. So any question here with set builder form and tabular form?
No, sir.
We'll see another set here. Let us say I define the set X as the first 3 letters of the English alphabet. I've already given you this example. So you can write this as A, B, C. This is the set builder form of representation of the set X. And this is the tabular form. Same set we are presenting in 2 ways, set builder form and tabular form. Okay. Let us take another example.
Sir, we can
Yes.
also write X such that X is an X is the first three letters of English alphabet.
Yes, I've written it here. See, okay. Either you can write this way, or I have shown you here also. This one, you can write this way also. Okay. So this is what your set builder form is. Now let's see how to write. If the set builder form is given, how to write the sets in tabular form. Let us see some examples. Look at this. Write the following sets in tabular form. The set A is given to you in set builder form. X such that X is a factor of 36. Okay. X is a factor of 36. This is given in your set builder form. Okay. So how will you write in tabular form? What are the factors of 36? 1 is a factor, 2 is a factor, 3 is a factor, 4 is a factor, right? 5 is not a factor, 6 is a factor, right? Next,
9 is a
7,
factor.
7 and 8, 8 are not factors, 9 is a factor. Okay. Next, 12 is a factor. 18 is also a factor because 18 into 2 is 36. And finally, you have 36 as a factor. So this set A has been written in set builder form in this, and you have converted this to tabular form or roster form. Okay. Let us consider another example. B. This set B is given to you in set builder form. X such that X is a letter of the word Kalka. Okay. So what are the elements of the set? Elements of the set are the letters of the word. So K is a letter, A is a letter, L is a letter, again K is a letter, or you can omit K also because you have already written K. Okay. So this is your set. Because K occurs twice here. Okay. So I've written K once here. So no problem. Okay. So this is your set. Is it clear? Any question here?
No, sir.
Third one.
No, sir.
C is equal to X such that X belongs to W. Now what is W? W is called the whole number, the set of whole numbers. There are certain standard sets. Okay, we'll come to that. But just remember for now that W represents whole number. That means this means X is a whole number. X belongs to W. X is a whole number. And X is less than 6. This is given to you in set builder form. Okay. If I want to write the same set in the tabular form, you have to look at the definition. X is a whole number such that X is less than 6. Okay. So what are the whole numbers that are less than 6? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because X is less than 6, so we'll not write 6. Okay. Number 4. Another set D is given to you in set builder form. Suppose I give you this set as X such that 1 less than or equal to X less than or equal to 4. Now, as I told you, remember this, X belongs to N. See that N I have written a little differently here. This means, this letter means natural numbers. Okay. So X is a natural number because N is a standard set, the standard set of natural numbers. Okay. And what kind of a natural number is X? That it lies between 1 and 4, inclusive of 1 and 4. X lies between 1 and 4, inclusive of both. That means x can be equal to 1 and x can also be equal to 4. Right? That this is what it means. So how will I write this? What are the natural numbers that are
So if
yes, tell me.
x lies between 1 to 4, then it will be till 2 and 3.
That is why I've written here inclusive of both. Inclusive of 1 and inclusive of 4. These are the extreme values. X can be equal to 1 also, x can be equal to 4 also, because I have an equality sign here.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So what are the natural numbers that are between 1 and 4, inclusive of both 1, 2, 3, and 4? Okay. Now let me just change the definition here a little and ask you the same question. This is very important, so please take note of this. Okay. If I say x such that 1 less than x less than or equal to 4, x belongs to n, that is x is a natural number. What should this set be? See that x, there's no equality sign here, but there is an equality sign here. That means x cannot be equal to 1. X is always greater than 1. But there's an equality sign with 4. That means x less than or equal to 4. That means what are the natural numbers? 2, 3, and
2,
4.
3, 4.
Okay. So I hope there's no question here.
Yes, sir.
Suppose now I change this definition a little and then I say that okay. Now see that equality is attached with 1. That means x can be equal to 1. Okay. Then what should be the natural numbers? 1,
1, 2, 3.
2, and 3. Okay. Let us now say that I remove this equality also. Then what will it be?
2 and
X,
3.
yes, x lies between 1 and 4, but x cannot be equal to 1 and x cannot be equal to 4. So what are the natural numbers between 1 and 4? It has to be 2 and 3. Okay. So I hope this part is clear. Move on to the next part, which is called infinite and finite sets. Next definition of sets. First is finite sets. If you see here, a set is said to be finite if it consists of specific number of elements. That means you can count the number of elements in the set. Okay, if you can count the number of elements in the set, then this is called finite set. For example, a set can have 10 lakh elements also, but you can count the number of elements, right? You are counting the elements of the set as 10 lakh, right? So that is a finite set. Okay. So here, if you see, I've given you an example here. A is equal to 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. This set is a finite set. Why? Because it contains how many elements? This set contains 5 elements. You are counting the number of elements here. Okay. So any set in which you can count the number of elements is called a finite set. Next, what is an infinite set? An infinite set is that set in which you are not able to count the number of elements. That means the number of elements are huge. There are many elements in the set and you are unable to count. For example, some of the standard sets here are, first one, the set of natural numbers. This set is an infinite set. Okay. X such that this is the definition of the set. X is a natural number. This is how you represent this set, infinite set. Okay. Remember this symbol. This symbol is very important because if this symbol is given, that means you have to assume that this is a set of natural numbers in an infinite set. Okay. And this set is If you write it in tabular form, and so on, this will continue. Okay. So this n is a standard set. Remember, this is an infinite set and it is a standard set. Next is,
Oh,
yes,
this n is a symbol of infinite sets.
this n represent the set of natural numbers. Okay, this special n represent the set of natural numbers. Okay, if I say x belongs to n and I write it this way, this will mean that x is a natural number. Okay,
Okay, sir.
I don't need to say that n represents natural number. If you see n written in this manner, that means it represents the set of natural numbers. It is an infinite set. Okay. Next is z. Z is an infinite set also. It is a set of integers x such that x is an integer. This is also a standard symbol. Remember this symbol. This represents an infinite set of integers. Okay. And what are the infinite set of integers? You start from the negative numbers, from minus infinity. Say you're coming till -4, -3, -2, -1, and then you have 0. And then start the positive integers. And then it
Sir,
continues till plus infinity. Yes.
sir, does Z represent something?
It represents the set of integers.
Okay,
Okay.
sir.
Sometimes Z is also written as I. I is also a representation of the set of integers. But normally in very standard representation in mathematics is Z. I also you can represent, but it is a weak representation. Okay. But just remember either Z or I is a representation of the set of integers. Next, another infinite set, standard set is Z and you subscript with a plus. That means this is a set of positive integers. X such that X is a positive integer. Okay. And what are the positive integers? 0 is not a positive integer. 0 is neither positive nor negative. So we start with 1. And so on. Okay. And finally, you have another standard set. Again, you remember this. Okay. And finally, you have another representation Z and superscripted with a minus. This is X such that X is a negative integer. Okay. And negative integer means we start with minus infinity and then we are continuing till -5, -4, -3, -2, -1, and that's it. Okay. So this again, remember, that's it. This is another standard set. Again, you have another standard set, which is the set of whole numbers. We represent this as W. X such that X is a whole number. This is a set builder representation of this infinite set. And how do you write it in tabular form? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Okay. So these are the symbols that you will come across. This is also a standard symbol. Remember, W. Okay. So the set of natural numbers is represented by this symbol. Set of integers is represented by this symbol. Set of positive integers represented by this symbol. Set of negative integers is represented by this symbol. And the set of whole numbers is represented by this symbol. Okay. Okay. Now, I give you another definition of a standard set, which is not mentioned here, but I'd just like to mention here first the definition of rational number, because I've not discussed that chapter on rational numbers. Just remember this definition, rational numbers. Okay. Now, what are rational numbers? A number that can be represented in the form P by Q. In the form P by Q, where P and Q are integers. And Q is not equal to 0. This is what the definition of a rational number. For example, any fraction is a rational number. If I give you -5/6, is this a rational number? Yes, this is a rational number, because this is your P -5 and this is your Q. If I give you this 2/-3, is this a rational number? Yes, this is a rational number,
Yes, sir.
because this is P and this is Q. Okay. Suppose I give you this number 0.16. Is this a rational number? Yes, this is a rational number, because you can write this as 16/100. So this becomes P and this becomes Q. Is this definition of rational numbers clear?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Now I introduce you the set of rational numbers. What is the set of rational numbers denoted by? The set of rational numbers is denoted by Q. And this Q, we write it in this manner. Okay. X such that X is a rational number. Okay. Now there are many rational numbers. Okay. You cannot actually write the rational numbers individually. So therefore we represent the set of the rational numbers Q as in set builder form only. Okay. There can be many infinite number of rational numbers in the set. So, but for the time being, just remember that this Q, when it is given, it will represent a rational number. So can we say that all integers are rational numbers? Can we say that all integers are rational numbers? Can we say? Can we say all integers are rational numbers? Suppose -5 is an integer. Is this a rational number? Yes, it is, because I can write this as -5/1. So this becomes P and this becomes Q. Right? Clear? So
Yes, sir.
all integers are rational numbers, whether positive or negative. All integers are rational numbers. Okay. Next, can we say all natural numbers are rational numbers? Can we say
Yes,
all
sir.
natural numbers? Yes, we can say all natural
Yes, sir.
numbers are rational numbers. Okay. For example, if I have a natural number, let us say 99, because 99 can be written as 99/1. So therefore, this is P and this is Q. Therefore, this is the natural number 99 is also a rational number. Okay. So I'll stop here then.